My name is LaShun Beal. I'm an impressionist painter, figurative. I've been doing it for approximately 55 years. No, it's not all I've done. You know, life is a journey, so you go through a lot of different things. When I graduated from high school, I was in the military. I went to the Marine Corps. I did that for 10 years, and while I was in there, I was constantly doing my artwork and developing my craft as well as my association with people in the art world. Okay, that's like asking um, a baby that just learned how to walk isn't walking the same way when they got 60 years old. So of course, change. There's always change. That's the whole thing about a creative person. They're constantly experimenting uh, to figure out what works for them and what doesn't work, what gives credence to their voice. And that's the whole purpose of art, is just to express your voice. Yeah. That's not really a good question from the standpoint there's so many different underlying messages based on what I'm creating at that time. And I create a lot of different things. So there's plenty, but the central theme is always to show dignity and pride. Well, I mean, art throughout the ages has really been predominantly um, images of women. And the reason is because every culture is defined by their women. So if you don't pay homage to your women, then what is it all for? Yeah. So um, you can tell the whole story of a culture basically pretty much through the women in those cultures. Yes, very creative as a child. Yes, I was. I started uh, taking an interest in art when I was in the third grade, and it just spiraled from there. I had a lot of great uh, teachers throughout school that helped foster my talent. There's a saying, you know, you're a stranger in your own land, and which is very true. So which means is, you know, where you're commonplace, you get the least um, appreciation. Not saying that my family didn't appreciate what I do, but that wasn't their role for me to appreciate what I did, even though they did. Um, Validation, and I'm thinking this was really what you want to know, is where do you get your validation from? You get your validation from putting yourself out there and letting the world see what you do, and they'll tell you, you know, whether you're good or not to them. There are so many mentors and influences that at this stage in my life is, you know, I can't even keep up with all of them. Basically, anything that you come in contact with is an influence to you. Whether you realize it or not, it affects you subconsciously. So always you have that. And if you're very receptive and perceptive to what people are saying to you or what information they're um, willing to divulge to you, those where your mentors come from. But I think the onus is on you to pursue these things, to have an understanding of being able to listen and not talk, but to listen to what people are saying to you and being able to ask the right questions to get the information that you need to create, get to your goals, your particular goals. The best advice I can give to an artist that is just starting out, whether they're young or old, because I deal with them from every age group. Um, I'm approached, so I mentor a lot of different people. But the best thing for them to do is to seek out people that are in their craft and and just be a sponge and absorb everything these people can tell them. Don't become a hermit and live in your own bubble, because that's going to limit your growth. You have to be exposed to stuff, wanting to expand your horizons. So, and don't associate purely with your peers. Your peers are clueless for the most part. They're trying to figure it out just like you. You have to get some seasoned individuals, preferably some well-known individuals with acclaim, so because they've been through it all. And there's a saying that I've always worked by. It's like work smarter, not harder, which means you learn from others' mistakes. And if you're wise enough to do that, you excel so much faster in life, as opposed to trying to think that you know it all and you stumbling and falling left and right. Yeah, we're all gonna make mistakes and stuff, but the point of it is to make as least mistakes as possible. Learn from others. Learn from others. It may be something different. You may have a different experience than them, but that's always a great starting point. I'm gonna do some cocaine until I freaking OD on it. That's what I really see for myself in the future. So if y'all seeing this, that's a premonition, okay? No, I continue to create. I have so much more that I want to say. Being at events like this one right here in New York, where you're exposed to so many different artists that are on their A game, is something that you absorb and you regurgitate it and you let it out, you spew it out, and how you feel that you can put your own thumbprint to it. Well, people are gonna remember me by the work that I leave behind. That's the only thing that's gonna last throughout throughout time, as long as there's someone out there to expose it to other people. That will live on. So I don't concern myself so much with the concept of just legacy, because that's all perceptive to a degree. You know, um, people may remember you for a generation, or they may remember you for several generations, and that's all beyond your control. So, only thing I can concern myself with, if I'm a sane person, is what I can be in control of at this particular time, and that's leaving behind the body of work that can be represented for the future generations. And legacy is for what you pour into others, those you mentor, that live on. Your work, your ideas, your concept lives on within them.
This is brought to you by Kansas City Business Association, working to improve our community.